Welcome back to another Research Connection. Today I'm here with Dr. Michele Battle. She is our new department head in molecular biomedical sciences, and she's going to talk a little bit about her research and her leadership approaches to this position. So your lab is focused on studying normal gut function in order to understand better when things go wrong in the gut. Can you explain a little bit how this back to the basics approach is really important in studying regenerative medicine?
No, that's a great question. Really what regenerative medicine is, or the goal of regenerative medicine, is to repair or renew or replace an organ when there is disease. And so in order to do that, you really need an instruction manual. And so what my lab is really working on is trying to define that instruction manual. We need to know how something normally develops in order to know how to fix it when there's disease. And so really that back to basics is really finding that instruction manual so that we can find new ways to intervene then when we have diseases of the GI tract, such as cancer or IBD, diseases like that.
You recently started as our department head in molecular biomedical sciences, and you've stated how much you think mentorship is a pillar for this role and in your career. Can you talk about how excited you are, or what excites you about mentoring graduate students or DVM students, really just in a veterinary setting?
You've hit the nail on the head when you say that mentoring is a passion for me. I know that I'm sitting in this chair because of the fantastic mentors I had, back to my high school biology teacher all the way up through my postdoctoral mentor. And so what I saw in them and what helped me succeed was that they offered me the platform upon which to grow my passions. And so learning from that, I recognized that my job is really to talk to people and to understand what's their passion, what makes them tick. Because when you understand what really is the motivation for someone in the work they do, you can then better understand what they need to succeed in that. You can understand what resources they need, what support they need. And so my goal is really to be the person that provides those resources and provides that stage upon which a person can grow and flourish. And I think mentorship expands even beyond just the beginning stages, trainees and early faculty, but goes all the way through our careers. I need mentors even now, as a department head, I'm still looking for mentors to help me better do my job. And so when I think down the road and when I look back on my career many years from now, what I will be most proud of are the people that I've helped and the people that I've mentored.
Just like a research lab requires vision, so does being a department head and leading a department. Can you talk a little bit about how there are parallels there between being a PI in a research lab and being a department leader?
Yeah, I would say, when I'm thinking about a new project or a new grant, the first thing I have to think about is strategy. So I need to be strategic. That would be in how you build your team, how you use your resources. You do the same thing at the department head position, right? You've got to think about your team. You've got to think about your resources. How do you use those resources in the most effective way that allows for the most impact? So the same thing we do on a small scale in developing a project or grant in terms of being strategic, we need to do on a bigger scale as a department head. You also need to be clever and creative in your thinking. Sometimes things don't go the way you think they're going to go, and we've certainly all experienced that in research. I think you have to be ready for that. And so, when I think about moving forward as department head, I know that things aren't always going to go the expected way. So you have to be ready to pivot. You have to be ready to be creative and be clever in the way you approach things. I also think you need to be persistent. We need to work hard and not let failures get us down. When we're in the lab, experiments don't work. When we submit a grant, we don't always get funded the first time. It'll be the same, I think, on a bigger scale in leading a department. Not every idea we have may be initially the best one. And so we have to be persistent and, again, be willing to pivot and be dynamic in our thinking. And then I think it's really important to be an inspirational team builder. My job is really to get people excited, get people motivated. Together we come up with a vision for the department. It's not just my vision, it's a community vision. The goals at the lab level or at the department level really parallel the goals of the college. We want to make transformative and impactful discoveries that advance animal and human health. And so at each of those levels, we're all doing our part to get to that big goal and succeed in that big goal.